Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Rugby League World Cup. Now, this one is such an important game. It's almost a playoff game before the playoff stages because whoever wins this game moves on to the quarterfinals and the loser goes home. Fiji, they have secured themselves a spot. Tonga, they have secured themselves a spot. Also, the Pacific Islands are running rampage in this competition, but now Samoa want to also add their name to that list. And if Samoa win this game, they book themselves a date in a match up against the Tongans, which will be an absolutely massive game when we do get to see it take place. But looking through at the starting lineup for both of these sides, we will start with the Samoan lineup, and it is Joseph Suali'i at the back for the Samoans. He has been sensational as of late. Also alongside him, Taylor May, Stephen Crichton, Tim Lafai, Brian To'o at number 5 for this game. Jerome Luai, player who played extremely well up against Greece. If he's having a good game, then so is Samoa. And Anthony Milford, the last man in that back line. Looking through at the forwards, Junior Paulo, the man who led the Samoans out onto the field. Danny Levi, Royce Hunt. Also, it will be Saul Sua and Kaufusi as the last 3 forwards in that starting lineup. The interchange players, it will be Josh Papali'i, who is not starting this match, but will be coming off the bench some stage throughout the first half. Liniu, Tipau, and Harris Tavita. That is the Samoan lineup. Looking through at this French side, team that we do know only a little bit about. We haven't actually covered one of their games on the channel as of yet, but I know that this man starting at number 6 is going to be a man to certainly watch out for. Yaha and Romano out on the wings. Langi in the midfield as well. Also going to be a very handy player for the French. And then some big forwards. Benjamin Garcia, number 13. Springer at 16. Da Costa at 9. And Zaria at number 8. Also another player I'm looking forward to seeing in action. But this is how this group sits at the moment. We will quickly remove that Halloween emoji, even though it is Halloween here in New Zealand. So a happy Halloween to everyone around the world. But as you can see, England with their points differential of plus 168, they have guaranteed themselves a spot in the quarterfinals, and they will be facing more than likely Papua New Guinea. Samoa and France, though, the winner of this game gets 2 points. Points differential is pretty much at this stage completely, it just doesn't matter. Your points differential means nothing at this point. The win on the board, though, that is something that is going to mean so much to these two sides. Looking through at the previous fixtures that we have seen these two sides play. First of all, looking at the top there, Samoa, they did not have a great start to this Rugby League World Cup. As you can see, England beating them 60 points to 6, but then they fired back against Greece, and they were able to get themselves a massive win there, 72 points to 4. And now they have seemed to find a little bit more momentum in this Rugby League World Cup. Looking at France, they had a good win over Greece, 34 points to 12. And then in their game up against England, they were beaten 42 points to 18. So it's a bit of an interesting matchup here because we've seen Samoa dominate Greece. We've seen France struggle a little bit with Greece, but still win against them relatively comfortably. But then we did see France lose by less up against the English than the Samoans did. So this game literally could have anything on the board, which is why I think my face has turned bright red out of pure excitement. Brian To'o at the front of the haka at the moment. Or sorry, I keep on calling it the haka. I know it's not called that though. The Samoans, they are fired up for this matchup, which is exactly what we want to see. We want to see the heart and the soul on the line for both of these teams. And I think that's exactly what we are going to get here out on the field. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, the winner of this game, they will go on and they will face Tonga. And so we went out for dinner. What was the final score last match? So in the end, I believe it ended 92 points to 10. So we had a match with 102 points on the board. It was the second highest scoring game in rugby league history for international level, and also the 4th highest winning margin, I believe it was, in international history. But Jerome Luai, Brian To'o, the teammates from the Panthers, they know what it's like to win a title in the NRL back-to-back. Can Samoa use those two players alongside Milford, alongside May out on the wing, Lafai in the midfield, Crichton as well, all working together as one kind of, I guess you could say, one unit. Try and take down this French side, who will not go down easy. Garcia, the skipper, he will be looking for a brilliant performance from this French side, a mix of youth and experience. Springer is one that certainly comes to mind as a dangerous option. Gadwin Springer, that is. He's going to make some big meters in this game. Post-contact, though, I think Samoa have themselves a bit of the edge. But Todd Smith going to be in charge of this game. Do let me know your score predictions in the comments as well, ladies and gentlemen, as we get closer to the kickoff here. 80 minutes will decide who is going through to the quarterfinal and who is hanging up their boots for the 2022 Rugby League World Cup. Let's go, Samoa, says Anna in the chat as well. Hoping for a big win for the Toa Samoa boys. So Samoa find themselves in the blue kit with the white. And I believe France are going to be relatively similar, although I believe they are in the dark blue kit for this matchup. Yes, they are almost dark blue, closer to black for the colouring of the kit of the French. Though his headgear is anything but black. There, a nice red headgear there. And also 30 to 40 points, Samoa. And then 12 for France, says Nate. So you're giving Samoa that little bit of an edge in this matchup. The thing is, if they start the game like Tonga did up against the Cook Islands, they will have no concerns for this 80 minutes because Tonga just kept on going from strength to strength, which is something Samoa want to have happen for them. The momentum that they've been able to create from that last win up against Greece, they'd like to be able to reuse that, have it on the board, and really take it to the French side who are hosting the next Rugby League World Cup, I should have mentioned, but it is going to be the Samoans who will be kicking off this game. Get it straight down to the French. It is Halliwell Jones Stadium in Warrington. Crowd who do know quite a bit about rugby league, like they're saying, if you're not excited about this game, it's one of the best ones to be watching throughout this Rugby League World Cup because it is the playoffs before the playoffs. It's going to be kicked off, and we are now underway. Suoli gets us underway for it, and France going to be able to take it nicely, and straight away it is going to be the big man, Gadwin Springer, who does have the crash at the line. Trying to get up to his feet. Sitting 15 metres out from their own line here, France throwing themselves at the big Samoans. Now, that is something that you have to be brave to do because I think if I ever tried to run straight at a Samoan, I probably wouldn't remember it. And when someone wakes me up in about 6 months and tells me about it, I feel like I would have PTSD from it. Now, France still hitting the ball up hard. It is going to be Springer once again. Now back across. French forwards driving their way towards the halfway line. That time, Benjamin Garcia getting involved. Now, the scoreboard was a little bit slow updating earlier on today, but hopefully it will catch up relatively soon. 28 metres gained off that first set. Nicely taken by, I believe, it was the man in the midfield there, Milford. Asuli takes the carry. And now Samoa will have their first possession of the day, hitting it hard at the line. Good defence, though, from France. I believe it was Dazaria. Did make the nice tackle there, running hard at the line. Brian Toa taken down by Benjamin Garcia, but still those post-contact meters that Samoa were making for fun up against Greece seem like they're still going to be there for them. Now Jaden Sewer does move up to 20 meters out from the line. Fourth tackle at the moment, so they've got one more, then they'll go for the kick here, more than likely Samoa. Nice work. Once again, it's going to be held. Sitting 15 metres out from the line, deciding which way they'd like to go. Danny Levi decides to go short side. Little grubber in behind is going to sit up nicely and taken by France. And it was, I believe, the number 6, Murug, who was able to clean it up, whose name I say wrong. I kind of say it as if the phone was ringing at the moment. France only sitting 10 metres out from their own line here. Trying to keep forward, but Danny Levi makes a good tackle there. Having Papa Lee coming off the bench alongside Harris Tavita, Lineal, and Tapal, that is certainly power personified for the Samoan interchange. But the question is, when do they decide to use those players? How early do you go to them? I would say after about 15 minutes, you consider making your first. Currently, France trying to build out of their own 20-metre line, but they've only made the 21 metres in that fifth set. Now, Suali'i does get the ball back in favour of Toa Samoa, trying to break through, but he's tackled hard in the tackle by Gadwin Springer. Also alongside that, it was Desaria who was helping him out now, going off to the left-hand side. Taylor May tries to break through. It's going to be the second tackle as well. Already 3 minutes through this contest. Nice bit of even position for both of these sides. Good attacking run. And they're from Tim Lafai in the midfield. Now going off short. Jerome Luai goes to the right-hand side. Bit of a skip there I believe that was from Taylor May, but instead of passing, decides to take the contact once again. France will not give up too many easy meters, though. That is the thing that they pride themselves on, is the defense. When they get it right, it can be dangerous, but when it slips up, that is when the opposition can really make the most of a junior polo now. It's going to be fifth and final, making 59 meters there. Luai with the little grubber. It sits up, and Tim Lafai scores the first try of the match for Samoa, and that was certainly not strong defense from France there, as they have been able to break their way through. Tim Lafai does beautifully, and that is going to be the first try of the game. Certainly not the last for Samoa in this one either. And Tim Lafai, that is his third try of the Rugby League World Cup. And France is going to win the World Cup. Okay, keep dreaming, says it was reality always wins. And also we get their try Samoa, says Richard. And there as well, very nicely done. But 4 minutes into this game, and little grubber in behind from Jerome Luai. It sits up for Tim Lafai. And evening watching the United game instead, says James Cody. They're playing West Ham United, I believe, if I'm not wrong there. Do let me know what the score is sitting at in that contest. But now 4-0 in favour of the Samoans. Jerome Luai, like they said, after that Greece game, you know that if Luai is very prominent throughout a game of rugby league, Samoa normally doing pretty well. He wasn't really anywhere in that English game. I remember he touched the ball twice, one of which was when he put it down. 1-0 United, says James Cody at the moment. But now it's going to be the kick from Stephen Crichton straight out in front of the sticks. Should be nice enough for that man to make it 6 points to 0. Australia will walk this World Cup, says Richard in the chat as well. But that is going to be over the middle of the sticks. 6-0 in favour of Samoa. Hopefully the scoreboard does update itself relatively soon. But Tim Lafai, brilliant try. That all rhymes. It didn't take much time for the Samoans to run in their first try. Now, the question is, who will be the second try scorer for this contest? I feel like a back is a safe bet, but I'm going to say it's one of the forwards for Samoa. I'll go Royce Hunt as the second try scorer for Toa Samoa, but now kicking it off, it will be Giggett. Gets us back underway. Suali'i gives it off, and it's going to be the big run that time. I believe that was Royce Hunt who decided to try and run straight over the top of Da Costa. Now Suali'i does a nice carry up at the line. That was almost a 6 more call there against the French. Now going off to the right-hand side, and it seems like maybe scoring that try has just fired up Samoa a little bit more. It's not good news for France. Well, that's huge contact there. Springer has sat down the Samoan, but only because both of them had their heads whipped back quicker than anything that you want to see out there on the field. But that is going to be going into touch from Samoa. Kicked it out early, and this is now going to be the French tap and go. This was a huge hit here. Who was it? No, they're showing the kick replay instead. And James, are you going to the Island South Africa game Saturday? Says Richard. Here we go. Number 23, Kalfusi. Boom. Both heads get whiplash on those ones. I have no idea how they are both are still on their feet. I can't even do sentences now. I kind of turned into an Italian the way I was speaking there with a little bit of extra emphasis. Oh, Luai having a bit of an argument with one of the French players, as he normally does, Luai. Gets fired up big time throughout these matches. Are going to be available once again for France on their first tackle, now looking to make those extra few meters. Good defense so far from Samoa, though. Sua makes the tackle there on Langi. Now back across Garcia. Now gives it off to Gigot. Low tackle made again by the Samoans. They aren't allowing those extra cheap meters for France at this stage to try by Salford Red Devil, says Nate there, and go into all the games, says James Cody. So yeah, there's going to be some absolutely awesome games of international rugby coming up. That is for sure. Also, the Rugby League World Cup quarterfinals will be taking place next place. That was a little kick from Gigot, but it doesn't quite go the way that he wanted it to. I believe it took a little deflection. Now Jerome Luai runs it sideways, gives it off now to Stephen Crichton, who's in the midfield. Taken down just inside of their own territory here for Samoa. 7.5 minutes through this contest. Now going off to the short side, it was Milford. Gives it off to Brian Toa, searching for the ball. Toa Samoa, says Mark there. Do let me know, what is your score prediction for this game, Mark? How many tries do you think the Samoans can run themselves in for this contest? Now Samoa going off to the left-hand side. Junior Paolo linking up on the outside. It's going to be nice work from Tim Lathai. Finds the offload as well, although looking like he has to run it sideways here, Taylor May, before he can go forward. First, Jerome Luai, though, receives the offload. Loopy pass. Almost going to be intercepted, but Sua cleans it up. Now looking for the pass option on the outside. If he can get it right, just bumping off. Tackles Garcia. In the end, is able to get him down. Took a huge amount of effort there, though. And Falefa has put Toa Samoa and Brilliant and Joy James Can't. They're all sold out. Tickets are going really fast. There's Richard. And then now another good run from Royce Hunt. Now, fourth tackle made here by the French. Now the back line opening up again. Lafai ball on the outside. He slips underneath the tackle accidentally there. Unfortunately for Taylor May, his own foot let him down. The boots weren't quite as grippy as he wanted. Fifth and final now for the Samoans. Lafai gets greedy, tries to go around the side of the breakdown. Doesn't work out for him. And it is going to be the handover now back in the hands of France. 40 Samoa, 12 to France, says Falefa. That's actually a relatively similar scoreline to what we did see predicted a bit earlier on by Nate, I believe it was, who said 30 to 40 points for the Samoans and 12 to France. So it seems to be 12 to France is a very common number at this stage. So I think that's the thing that I like, though. Everyone is saying France are at least going to put up a fight in this contest rather than a runaway for the Samoans. People feel France will be able to get themselves over the try line a couple of times. 9.5 minutes through, it is going to be now the fourth tackle for France. Only still inside of their own half, moving up to 40 metres out from their line. And they will have to boot this one way down the park. It was the run from Benjamin Garcia, now kicked downfield. Good spiral punt down the middle of the park. Cleaned up, though, by Solehi now, who will be looking to bump his way through. It's a good tackle made on him. Now sitting only 20 metres out from their own line here. It's going to be Brian To'o once again receives the pass from Jerome Luai. I'm going to have to drink some water or else my voice is going to disappear before this game is over. There we go. Hopefully it will last for the next 70 minutes of this matchup. Once again, another big carry from Royce Hunt. Looking off to the right-hand side for Samoa, 40 metres out from the French line. The draw and pass out to the right is classy, and now Stephen Crichton has been taken down. It's going to be the last tackle. Fifth and final, they made 69 metres there for Samoa. Ball's gone high. It's going to be contestable here. Who wants it? It goes up. Not taken cleanly by France, and it goes dead. So I believe that's going to now be a goal line dropout, I believe. And also, can you show us the TV, please? Unfortunately, due to licensing, if we show any match footage or audio, they sadly take us straight off YouTube and we get a copyright strike and banned for 3 months from streaming. So I do apologize for not being able to show it. I wish there was a way of being able to show it, but I do know the Rugby League World Cup YouTube channel will have the highlights of this game as soon as this match is over. Got the Australian Fiji because of my Leinster season tickets and got the South Africa from work, says James Cody there, and they are like gold dust. Says James, oh, that's got to hurt the French head. I don't know whether or not he will know where he is at the moment, but I believe that was Alex da Costa, who will now be not really remembering too much of this game for the next few minutes, I wouldn't be thinking. Jeez, he's just been smacked back. He's going to need an HIA. He's not looking too flash. He's being held up by one of the trainers at the moment. Now, Taylor May looking for the corner, forced out by France. Solid defense, not allowing him to find the offload. Like they're saying France, they are just hanging on in this one. It's only a matter of time. But in the corner, Taylor May, he tried to go through. Fortunately for him, though, Romano and also Kiko was able to cut him off and just drag him into touch, not allow that offload. But that run there, Royce Hunt just goes straight over the top of da Costa. He gets him right on the jawline as well and sat that man down. Oh. Okay, I had a feeling that one of his teammates, Kalfusi, was actually tapping the back of Hunt's head. Is he going off for an HIA? Because if he is, that would be unfortunate for Samoa. He needs hospital, says Richard there. Yeah, he's certainly going off for an HIA. I don't see him coming back for this matchup. The way that he fell looked like he was pretty groggy afterwards. But France having to already make the change early. That's not what they would have been wanting. Definitely not a player as classy as da Costa is, but only 12 minutes into this game, and already we have seen some huge hits from Samoa and France. Seen players' heads getting whipped back all over the place, but now France have the reset, sitting only 10 metres out from their own line. So it is going to be Pelissier who makes his way onto the field, the number 14 for France. Now going short side, trying to break through. Another good tackle made on Dazaria. Back up to his feet. Now driving around the side of the breakdown, the first run for Pelissier. So he decided he might as well get some minutes or some meters under his belt first. Another good run forward, this time by the number 23 Rogue. Or Rogier, I should say. Sorry, I don't really have the French twang that I need. That's going to be the set restart. So Samoa given away a little bit too easy. And we actually mentioned about them in the game up against Greece. Their discipline for Samoa. Yes, up against the sides that aren't going to push them that hard, such as a Greek side. But when you get through to a quarterfinal, if they win this game, that is, you're going to need to make sure your discipline is immaculate. You cannot afford early penalties. You can't afford set restarts. You got to make sure you are getting it 100% correct, because they will be playing Tonga if they make their way through. Another side who love a big hit or two throughout a contest. Now another good run forward from Desaria. Now sitting 13 minutes into this game, 20 metres out from the line, France. Another attack. Rogier has lost his footing, but it's going to be the penalty against Samoa. So it has actually been called as a high tackle there. Unfortunately, though, Rogier did slip into that one. So it wouldn't be anything more than just the penalty for the slightly high tackle there. And yes, James, and that's because Leinster are so good. And when Ireland win the World Cup, they may move to Croke Park, says Richard in there, I should say. So the penalty is going to go the way of France. They will be just taking the tap by the looks of it, sitting 10 metres out from the line. Big run forward here from Springer. Crashing quite nicely towards the line. And now they will still look to attack on the left with the wide cutout pass option there. They decided against it just for now, though. I believe it was Julian who did crash up nice. In fact, it was Garcia. Now Julian gets involved. The attacking set for the French. Going on the outside. Chajot down the wing. Oh, no, he hasn't been able to finish it. He tried to go for the diving corner dive, and it didn't work. And Ireland will never move to Croke Park, says James Cody there. But he thought it was worth a crack. I believe it was actually, ended up being Langy out on the wing, I think, who went for the finish. But he just got smacked into touch by a solid defensive bit of work from, who was it? It was actually in the end Taylor May, who just managed to push him off the field of play. Oh my God. Says Richard there, and Nathan's got the funny face in there as well. Or the funny face emoji, I should mention, Nathan. Not your literal face. Now 14 and a half through. Samoa only sitting 20 metres out from their line. Another run from Brian To'o. Had his ankles taken out from underneath him. He had a pretty good game last week up against Greece. He's back up to his feet. 30 metres out now. Another spin attempt. And now it's going to be Sua and Ozzy. You're all kick my guy, says Nate in there as well. But now Paulo goes across. Jerome Luai. Oh, he's been tackled from behind. He didn't see that coming, and he's not happy about it either, Jerome Luai. He didn't get the warning from his teammates, and I think it's going to be a knock-on against France. No, Samoa, I believe, are actually going to end up with the scrum feed. They may consider captains challenging this for the French. It's an idea that they could go with, but it doesn't seem like that is what they are going to be doing. Almost at the split, so that would have hurt it. And top shirt, Amish, says Distracted Sports. Yeah, it was what I wore to the Halloween party. I did have my Harry Potter attire on. So I did have this, the tie, and also my little scar and whatnot. Earlier on another live stream, we had the Santa suit out, as you can see there, but it was very itchy because I had the full-on beard as well. But, yeah, bit of a dress shirt, I guess you could say, for a live stream. Looks more professional than it is, I guess you could say. But I hope you're doing well, mate. Early morning start for yourself. The band 619. And also Marina Tony says it was Nate there. Now going back across to the left-hand side for Samoa. Only 20 metres out from the line here. And only their third tackle in place. So still a couple more tackling plays coming up from them. Danny Levi goes off left. Now Junior Polo receives the short pop pass, but he was tackled by Pelissier. Now Danny Levi, that's a set restart for the Samoans. This is really dangerous for France now because they After all, was that a mistake? No, not quite. Anthony Milford, he must have just got it right enough. Now Junior Paulo, short ball off to the number 23, Kalfusi. Now Levi looking off to the left, but then instead decides to go right. Luai, little flick out the back. Quick hands, Brian To'o. He's in for the try. And that will be the second of the match for the Samoans. And also we have got tickets may demand it. And the GA will have no choice but to let them in because if Irish do win or Ireland do win, they never follow rugby before we'll do so. Says Richard. And also, yep, time for work Mondays. Am I right? Says the Straight to Sports. Exactly right, mate. I feel like my work is very weird, isn't it? Because it's going to be stay up till about 8 a.m., go to sleep, wake up in the afternoon, and then do some building. So it's kind of a weird reversal, I guess you could say. I only get a couple hours in today, but hopefully tomorrow we'll get a few more hours under my belt. And also try for the Panthers or try by the Panthers, says Nate. And try Samoa, says Richard. Yeah, very nice one for Brian To'o. So far we've seen a try from Tim Lafai and a try from To'o into the early stages. And also the clapping from Peter Stowers waking up. Oh, welcome him, mate, I should say. Hope you are doing very well. And a good morning to a lot of you guys who are tuning in from Samoa. It is currently an early morning start for you. It's hugely appreciated, everyone tuning in for this morning live stream. But Samoa lining up this kick now will be Stephen Crichton. Close to the touchline here. Not a give me kick by any means of the word. But he gets that little bit of curl, which might help him here, as long as he aims wide enough. If he doesn't go outside of the left hand upright, I would say this one's going to curl too far. There's the prediction. That seemed very specific. See whether or not we're correct. Stephen Crichton. Stepping back. Stepping forward, starts it pretty straight, and unfortunately started it too straight. So it does end up going out to the side. He wasn't willing to allow it to drift round. And Protestant sports aren't allowed on the GAA pitch, which is Croke Park, says James Cody there. But To'o, just pure power going over the top of Lagier. And then it was a great offload initially from Sualihi. Quick hands from Crichton. And To'o making the score now 10-0. In favour of the Toa Samoans. Kicked off long, taken by Sualihi, and once again gives it off to Royce Hunt, who looks like he's just going out trying to knock people out anytime he does have the ball in hand and gets to crash up with them. Brian To'o, another good tackle, I see that. Deseria has been taken off the field, and that is for Sangeri. Now off to the left-hand side, Tim Lafai, few extra minutes. Yes, I agree, James, that's Rule 22. But was changed before. Good morning from Guam, says Philly. There's a welcome in, mate. I hope you are doing very well. I should say another set restart for the Samoans. Sitting on the halfway line and still plenty of meters to be made, but they have been making them relatively comfortably. We've already seen 3 set restarts in favour of Toa Samoa, more than we saw in the whole match between Tonga and the Cook Islands, mainly because every set Tonga were pretty much scoring, so they didn't have to bother with the restarts. Now Levi goes off across. Junior Paulo has the big crack at the line. Great runner, Sangeri. Now 10 meters out. Levi goes off to the left. Luai, one more pass. It's the skip, and it's gone out. Taylor May scores it, and Samoa get themselves their third of the contest now. They are on fire. Early on, sorry for not saying good morning to you, says Peter Stiles. No worries at all, mate. It's great to see you. And Kai's Kitchen said, say hi to Velda Fox for me, says Kai's Kitchen. So a shout out to Velda. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And also go Toa Samoa, says Philly. And also that's only because the stadium was being changed. Won't happen. The only thing you can do is expand the Aviva, says James Cody. But Luai, nice cutout pass initially, finding his target. And then it was another one in the midfield from, I believe, want to say it was Anthony Milford, who managed to get that pass on. And also, we'll get there. Go Toa Samoa. We're proud of you guys representing our country, says Va'avesi. And at this stage, it does seem like the matchup in the quarterfinals is going to be Samoa versus Tonga. That's a pretty juicy contest. That's one that a lot of people will be absolutely buzzing for. Hopefully, it is an absolutely awesome game between them. Try by whatever club Uso plays for, says Nate. And also, let's go the Toa says TV. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back with plenty more of the Rugby League World Cup. Also, internationals are coming back for Rugby Union, including Samoa's game up against Italy. Fiji, they are going to be playing Scotland, New Zealand, Wales, Australia, France. Plenty of matches taking place in the near future at international level for Rugby Union. But 22 minutes through, this kick from Crichton, once again, not going to be an easy one. Definitely not with his natural little bit of curl that he gets on the ball. But like they were saying, he's actually the second choice kicker for his team in the NRL. Lines it up. That one's better. That one's gone straight over, and that's going to make the score 16-0 in favour of Toa Samoa. You may knock the apartments behind it, says Richard there. The start to this match from Samoa has been immense. They just haven't allowed France outside of their own half, other than that one opportunity where they almost were able to score on the corner, but great defence from Taylor May, the man who just got himself the reward of scoring the try for Samoa. Other than that, though, they haven't really been able to make their way out of their own area. It's kicked downfield, waiting for that one to come down. It's going to be taken nicely by Royce Hunt, who seems like he's scared off half the French side because they don't want to tackle him as quickly. Where can we watch this? If you're in New Zealand, it's on Spark Sport. If you're in Australia, I believe it's on KO. Not too sure about other broadcasters, though, but I know on the Rugby League World Cup website, they will normally have a tab that says where to watch, and you can work it out depending on what country you're in. Now it's going to be another big run from Taylor May. His boots have once again tackled him. Has slipped over. There you go. Has done beautifully to stop him down that side of the field. Now it will be another big run forward for Toa Samoa. They are already into French territory. It's going to be the fourth tackle, though. Now Levi goes off to the short side. Milford loops around beautifully. It's going to be Lafai. Up to 20 metres out from the line. It's decent defence from the French. And now fifth and final, Luai goes across. Are they going for the kick? They are indeed. It's going to be sitting up, and it's an awkward bouncing ball. France just managed to get it dead. 87 metres gained by Toa Samoa there. And also keep working hard, Toa Samoa. And also we thank you for your work broadcasting the game. I appreciate you, says Villy, and I appreciate all of you guys being here as well. Like I mentioned, we have got plenty more coming in the near future. So if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button and then turn on that notification bell. You'll get notified anytime we start going live for a match of International Rugby League or Union. And also the Sevens is coming back next week. So Manu Samoa Sevens side going to be back in action, and they are a tremendous side, and I hope they one day get themselves a Sevens title, and I think it could be closer than we think. Also hit that like button and subscribe. Kiwi lads, if you're new, alerts, the bell tinging as well, says Nate. Now going off to the left. Nice inside ball from Jerome Luai, finds Junior Paulo, also gets the offload away. Sualihi has to clean it up. Now with a nice step, almost breaking through. 8 metres out from the line, and they're only up to their second tackle. This is another dangerous one for Toa Samoa. Levi goes off to the side here. Short boy, Milford goes for that one. I think I just said short boy rather than short ball for Milford. Although Milford's not the tallest man on the field, but I'm not going to call out his height on live stream like that. That would be a bit rough, wouldn't it? 25 minutes in. Little kick of mine from Luai for the attempt. And it didn't really work out, although it was great work from Samoa to drive him back into his own and goal area. So it is now the goal line dropout that France now once again have to go for. And let's go Samoa and France. And there from Nate, that one piece of hair was annoying me earlier on. It looks like it's going to be trying to escape once again. They've got that one right, France. They almost were able to get it, but instead Samoa once again able to knock it backwards. 25 minutes through this game, it has been absolutely flying by for the first 25. Now Samoa handing it up at the line once again. It will be Royce Hunt. Ireland will never move to the Aviva, even if they win the World Cup. Says James Cody. Now off to the left-hand side. One more. Luai passes off to Suali'i. It was knocked down. Was it by France that it did hit the hand, or was it just a mistake from Joseph Suali'i here? Looking off to the side. Luai then from there, just went a little bit too far behind the man he was aiming for, so there was no French hand on it. France will now have possession. It was good work from Arthur Romano, though, because he didn't panic. He knew that it was a 2-on-1, pretty much just stood his ground and hoped that they would end up making the mistake, which in the end, Toa Samoa did. Now, France, once again, only 15 metres out from their line. They're finding it extremely challenging to get those extra metres with the big Samoans putting in some lovely hits on them. On off to the left-hand side. They're making it to about 25 metres out from their own line now. They're up to the second tackle. That's going to be a nice attack and run, though, from Sangari. Now going off to the right-hand side, France find themselves up to the halfway line there. That was a hard shot round the neck. And it looks like he's going to be apologising for that one. So, is that number 11 for this game? Oh, okay, he's on report for that high shot. So that is something that Samoa cannot afford. We saw in their first game up against England, they ended up with a few injuries. This is the last thing they want. There is going to be any sort of suspension. Just reaching up, they've said, for Sal, so they don't feel it's going to be anything too serious in the on-report standards. But now France, with that penalty, they have been able to get themselves their first set starting inside of the half of Samoa in a long time now. Great run up to 20 metres out. Garcia does run it nicely. Benjamin now going off to the right-hand side. The drawn pass from France, little pop pass up off the back, and it's going to be run for from Sergier. Samoa able to make the tackle there, and in fact, it was that man who gave away the penalty. So, now back across. Okay, the crowd, the announcers announcing something. I thought they were announcing a set restart, but that is not the case. Still France up to the fourth. Couple more passes. That looked a little high from Milford as well. Now that's going to be fifth and final for the French. Sitting 8 metres out. Now going for the little grubber in behind. It sits up. It's hit the post and nowhere really for Samoa to go. But it's Sal who was able to clean it up. It will be the goal line dropout now. And also the Samoan flags from, it was Vicisiso or Vicisio. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Do let me know if I've got it slightly wrong though. Currently 16-0 in favour of the Samoans. They will be kicking it back into the hands of France. Unless, of course, they go for the super short kick. But I do see that Josh Papali'i has now made his way out onto the field, playing number 8 and coming off the interchange for this matchup. Right, France going to have the position about 30 metres out from the line now. Big run. A good carry from Yaha. It is actually going to be Royce Hunt who's been taken off the field. That is for Josh Papali'i. So Paulo still out there on the park alongside Papali'i. Two extremely big boys. Both played in the State of Origin in 2022. Trying to take that one quickly there for France round the side, picking the pocket, but it's going to be straight into Josh Papali'i. It's going to be a set restart now, and now Josh Papali'i has just crushed the French player. Does not look too flash, but now France moving 5 metres out from the line. Going off to the left-hand side. It was a rough pass. Now goes for the grubber in behind. It sits up, no. And once again, Stephen Crichton has been able to get in there with a little half touch on it to force it dead. But it was almost a chance for France to get back into the contest. Yeah, Stephen Crichton just slaps that one away like he's playing volleyball. Said, nope, that's not happening. Has to get it away. So I believe they might be having another goal line dropout, and also with their Samoan flags in there. Let's go, says Philly. Kick downfield this time. The ball bounces. France controlling it with a little bit of fancy footwork. Of course, the FIFA World Cup coming up relatively soon. France heading into that competition relatively high up there in the favourites department. Now France look to use it 35 metres out from the line. Cutting back on the inside, it's going to be Langi. Still 10 minutes left of this first half. If France scored now, you'd have to say they're not completely out of this game, but they do need some points relatively soon. Back across now to the right-hand side. Linking up nicely now. The draw and pass looked like it was almost going to be opening up, but instead it's going to be Sergier who's tackled, and now Samoa penalised again. Oh, okay, bit of push and shove going on out there on the field. We know that France are a passionate side, and Samoa is certainly not going to be backing down from a push and a shove. Kiro from Melbourne. Thanks for the live, bro. Says Vicisiso or Vicisio. There's, I do appreciate you being here early morning for yourself in Melbourne, I believe, at about 4:30 or so. Jerome Luai having a bit of a conversation with Jojo by the sounds of it. Okay. So I think, once again, Sal might have got himself in a little bit of trouble with an arm, but so he's being tackled. Then from there, Jerome Luai, I don't think he rolled away, which then annoyed the French player. Now the penalty goes the way of France. This is a good opportunity for them once again. Oh! Okay, no more is the call. So they've said there that Sal has been warned for the second time. And if he has anything else, he's going to be going off the field for 10 minutes of this contest. And also Malo Samoa, says Ponga from Tonga there as well. So yeah, Tonga versus Samoa is looking like it could be the matchup for the quarterfinals. Also in the quarterfinals, New Zealand versus Fiji, Papua New Guinea. They will be playing head-to-head up against, I believe they will have England. And then also alongside that, the other game is Australia and Lebanon. It's the other contest that will be taking place. Nice run from France. Josh Pabali rips him backwards. Close to the set restart there, but it was only the first anyway. Now Jojo does nicely. Luai just dragged him down by his collar. He might be maybe in a little bit of trouble here, Jerome Luai. Might have been a bit late. That one, but he is certainly fired up, Luai, and he is still trying to get involved. Now France 10 metres out from the line, going away to the left, looking for the draw pass, the wide cut-out pass. Beautiful offload now for France, getting a little bit closer. Gigier was involved. Okay, 7 metres gained for France, 5 metres out from the line. He's gone for the cross kick. It's nicely taken by Samoa again, because he's been able to take it cleanly though. Okay, Taylor May's not too happy with something that's happening, and also Mercy in there says it was Mizu. Mate, if you are doing very well. Oh, so they're saying he's taking it back, Taylor May, which would count as a goal line dropout. But I believe, what is the call going to be here? It's going to be the goal line dropout for Samoa once again. They do have to kick it back to the French, who have had a majority of the possession in the last 5 or so minutes, but they haven't been able to do anything with it, only running it back at Samoa. It's going to be a nice run from, I believe there was Sangari again. They're being told to release him, and they do just that. Now going off to the left-hand side. It's currently 32.5 minutes through this contest. And what app is this game on? It is on Spark Sport. If you are in New Zealand, would be your best bet. Now nice little offload from Jojo. Another run from Segier. He has had about 7 carries throughout this first half in the last little while. And once again, Jerome Luai giving him a little bit of afters as well. Now, nice short pass from France. It was very flat, but it was effective. I believe they're going to sling it out to the left-hand side now, and there are numbers if they can get it right. But first of all, I believe it was Legier who decided to have the carry for himself. Now they kick him on from Jojo. It's gone too far. And now Samoa, I believe this time, will have themselves some form of the ball. And also we have got there in the chat as well. Here's an Aussie ref, says Richard. Okay, tackle made on the Samoans here. This will be their first real touch of the ball in a little while. And now nice run from Brian To'o. Finds the offload, and just like that, Samoa are going to be able to get themselves the try. Literally going from defending for 5 minutes or 10 to then scoring a try for Taylor May. Literally in the next minute of the contest. And the try says Richard. And Taylor May does run it in. That's going to be the 4th try of the contest now. His 2nd of the day. And Taylor May has been able to score it, or as it says in his name, Tiny May. Goes round the side, gives it off to Brian To'o, gets the offload back, cuts up the middle of the field, and at that point, France just didn't have anyone who was far enough back to be able to stop him. He runs it in, scores the try, and that will now make the score for Samoa 20 points to 0. Good morning, Amish. Says Golden Geese, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Currently, Samoa starting to run away with this game a little bit, although not quite to the extent that we did see for the Tongans as they were able to win their game. 94 points to 10, I believe it was, or 92 points to 10, sorry. Samoa got some more tries, says Marco, and also we have got their Tonga versus Samoa. Has me worried. It's going to be an absolutely incredible game of rugby league, that is for sure. yeah, it's one of those games that both sides have found their form later on in their competitions. Like both had slightly rougher first games. Samoa losing by 54 to England. Tonga only narrowly getting themselves the win over Papua New Guinea. But now both sides in their last two games, you'd have to say, have played a lot better, which means that it could go either way in that quarterfinal. And good morning, Brother Hamish. It's me. Says Justin, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. 35 minutes through this game. Kick from straight out in front for Stephen Crichton here. Shouldn't be any issue. Has got that one down the middle, so that's going to make the score now 35. Well, sorry, not 35, but 35 minutes through this one, 22-0. And is that you, Licky? Says Mizu. And also we get them Malu Toa Samoa. And also, well, they won't score 30 in 6 minutes to make the 50, says Richard. And there's, I'd like to hope not anyway. If they did, then France's defence and the whole of France would pretty much, I would assume, be in the changing room if Samoa were able to score themselves that many tries in such little time. Shikor took that kick off. Oh, two French players. What's happened here? Okay, they're just having a bit of a workout of what's actually happened. Tapal ran it hard at the line. The referee wanted to check on the players, I believe, and just make sure everyone was all right. They all were in the end. And now the game's going to be playing on. Currently sitting 4 minutes left in this first half. Make run from Josh Papali'i. And hopefully Samoa and Tonga are in the finals, says King Henry. They actually play each other in the quarterfinal. So, unfortunately, one of the sides will only be able to make it through to the quarters, but the other could go all the way. Looking very Top Gun, Hamish, says Golden Guest. And there, yeah, I was wearing this for my costume for a Halloween party a little bit earlier on, and I couldn't really be bothered changing it, so I just left it on. Aroa Toa Samoa, says Tawati there. And also we have got there in the chat, brother, says Justin, nice work there from France, being able to get the turnover now. 3 minutes left on the clock for the first 40 of the game. 22 points down. France need to try soon. And usual headshot tackling for Southern Hemisphere teams. Otherwise, we'd have more respect, says Stetterly in there as well. Yeah, I guess at this stage, there's been some certainly big shots out there. There's been an on report and also a few head knocks for France from the tackling technique. Unfortunately, they actually went a little bit high in one of their tackles. Just ask the number 9 Da Costa, who has only recently returned from his HIA after trying to go around the Samoan's forehead. Now, another nice offload found by Sagari. Still driving forward here for the French. Jerome has been told to get out of there. He would not. That was almost going to be a 6 again call again against Jerome Luai. It's a nice kick downfield. Good control, though, from Samoa at the back. Brian To'o tries to make his way almost straight through and didn't quite manage to get the gap that he was after. Now moving up to the halfway line now for Samoa. Stephen Crichton runs it hard at the line. Tackled by the number 14, Pellissier. Did actually go on the field for Da Costa initially. Almost stolen by France. 6 again is the call. And Samoa now only about 30 metres out from the line here. Josh Papali'i takes the contact there from Sangeri. Now going off to the left-hand side. Samoa, they've got numbers if they decide to use them, but instead Lathai is almost able to cut up the middle. He was missed in the tackle initially by the number 9. Moving up. Only 20 metres out from the line. Short ball didn't quite work out. Samoa unable to get that pass off the way that they needed to. And I believe that was Rouge. It did go down. Can you tell my fiance? Justin has said, I'm not too sure what that means. I know that it's Te Rero Maori, but not too sure what it says. So I feel like it wouldn't be a good idea for me to say it. And it would be nice to see two Pacific teams going at it in the finals, says King Henry. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely awesome to see those two sides meet in a quarterfinal. Of course, a lot of people would have loved to see that contest a little bit further down the line in the competition, but the way the draw works out, it would be Tonga versus Samoa in the quarters. Also in the quarterfinals, New Zealand versus Fiji, England versus Papua New Guinea more than likely, and then also alongside that, it is going to be Lebanon versus Australia. Now, 30 seconds left on the board. Samoa feel like there's still maybe one more try up their sleeve here. It's a nice attacking run And they're only up to their second tackle, so they have got time to be able to go through it. Junior Polo recycles nicely. Flat ball there. Josh Papali just short of the line. Springs back up to his feet. Recycling very quickly. Levi now just stopped. It's only going to be about 5 seconds left. He uses the reset already. Levi goes off to the right-hand side. Getting close to the line. 5 seconds left. France will be smart to hang on to this one for a bit longer. They have released him, though. Now it's going to be the Sora in the fifth and final for Samoa. Can they get another one before the end? They sure can. And it's going to be Taylor May for his hat-trick. And he has got the first half hat-trick now for Toa Samoa. And tell her to listen. Says, guys, and also we have got there, is that not knocked down by France? Yes, it was. And quarterfinals they meet. And there says Nate, and also the try. And listen to Maori, bruv, says Justin. And there as well. But it was a nice draw and pass. Luai then found the hands of the man on his outside, Suali, and then found Taylor May. And hat-trick tries for the Penrith Panthers. Says Nate, yeah, we saw a couple tries coming in for Tonga. Seems like Samoa are also going to be able to get themselves a few. The way that these two sides are matching up is making an extremely intriguing quarterfinal fixture, that is for sure. And I cannot wait to see how it does end up going. But currently at halftime, it's going to be either 26 points to nil or 28 points to nil, depending on whether or not this the Stephen Crichton kick does go over the posts. Now, do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, how do you see the second half going? Will Samoa be able to score more points than they did in the first, or will they slow down and France will start to try and find themselves a little bit further back into the contest? Here we go. Samoa 26-0, still the kick to come for Stephen Crichton. Great commentary, brother. Keep up the good work, says Guys Kitchen. Thank you very much, mate. And we have got plenty more coming up in the near future. We've got the game tomorrow night, or tomorrow morning, in fact, New Zealand time. That is going to be Papua New Guinea taking on Wales. It's going to be a terrific one. We are going to be covering that on the channel. Are you doing the All Blacks A versus Island A over there, says Richard. I believe that is the plan. As long as it's being shown here in New Zealand, we will be hoping to cover that game. It's going to be kicked over. Yes, it is. Beautiful strike of the ball from Crichton. So that will make the score 28 points to nil at halftime in favour of Toa Samoa. Let's go, boys. Samoa all day. And I'm looking forward to New Zealand and Tonga, Samoa, England, and Australia, says Justin. And also, I had only Cooks and Froggy, says Spider Mick. And there as well. But a pretty good first half from Toa Samoa. From the start of the game when they scored in only about the second or third minute, you could see that they meant business. Now that they've been able to do a decent first 40, maybe they try and ramp it up a little bit in the second 40. Really test out that gas tank. Because at the end of the day, up against Tonga, I would assume it's going to be a relatively even chess match for the early stages of the contest. And then maybe by the end, whoever's got the better gas tank might be the side that make it through to the semi-finals. I'm just having a chat with Josh Papali here, as they call him. Is it Papali or is it Papali'i? Because I know that Dalton Papali'i in the All Blacks is Papali'i, but Papali. Okay. So, Josh Papali'i, he has just said that the game is not over yet. They're going to go out there and they're going to keep on playing hard. And please tell Tanapo, I love her, says Justin. I'm sure you can tell her yourself, Justin. And also next Friday, 7:30 p.m. Irish time, says Richard, and greetings from Cape Town. I've just tuned in, been at work. Kiwi lads rocking the live rugby again. Thanks, Samoa. Steamrolling the Frenchies, ouch, says a roof. And also we have got there in their same farmhouse, Papali'i, says Nate. And also the thumbs up from Golden Guest. But going into halftime, we have already seen a hat trick for Taylor May. Also alongside him, Tim Lafai and Brian To'o were the other two try scorers for Toa Samoa. Really looking through some of the stats. Meters gained, 821 for the Samoans. Average carry gain, they haven't actually got there, but 29 tackles missed by France, which has certainly been costing them relatively 50-50 with the possession. But the tackle bust, 29 for Samoa. Certainly the difference in this matchup, just being able to make those extra meters, pushing the French back. Although France actually did very well inside of the half of Samoa for quite some time throughout that matchup, about 10 minutes or so, but they weren't able to get any points for their rewards of the possession. I think that's something that really did cost them. There we go. They have to sneeze. Of course, it's now morning here in New Zealand, so hay fever will be kicking in. And 4 tries by the Panthers and 1 try by Salford Red Devils, says Nate. And good morning, Amish, says T7. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. At the moment, Samoa doing very nicely for themselves in that first half of rugby, and they will be looking to continue that in the second half. But the crowd, it's not as full as I thought it would be for a deciding game. Whoever won this game was going to be going through to the quarterfinals to face off against the Tongans. And thanks for the stream, so says Billy. No worries at all, mate. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more rugby league coming up in the near future. And it's going to be a very hectic time because we've got international rugby coming back for the union side of things as well. One moment. There we go. We have fixed ourselves overall, but yeah, hay fever. Gotta love it. It's actually supposed to be a relatively nice day today. It's 12 degrees, and it was actually overnight. It's going to be very worrying for the French. There's no answer to this physically dominant Samoan game, says Ruth. Yeah, I think the big thing for France here is going to be try and leave this game without too many injuries, because they are going to be finishing this World Cup after this game is over, but Samoa still have more games to come. So that will be the tactic for Samoa as well. Leave this game without the injuries. And also, we have their quarterfinals. The answers, says Nate there. And also, thanks, brother, you the man, says Justin. Do appreciate you a lot, mate. Yeah, we have got plenty more, like I mentioned, coming up. Also, the Rugby 7 circuit coming back. We will be covering the Samoan games of the Sevens alongside Fiji, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, and all of the other sides taking part. But that is the Hong Kong 7. So it's actually going to be a decent time zone for us here in New Zealand, working out to be around about, I believe it's about 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. or somewhere around there. The games are going to be taking place, which is very handy as we do enjoy a nice afternoon game. MNT and Toa will be the beast, or be a beast matchup, and that is what it's setting up like for the quarterfinals. So I believe, I'm not too sure who goes through to face who in the semi-final side of things. And also we have got there, bless you, Amish, if you need tissues, I can send them with fast mail. Might get there in a week, says Ruth. And there as well. Still trying to get a tissue sponsor. I haven't heard back from any yet, mainly because I haven't reached out to any. So they probably don't know we need a tissue sponsor at this point of the match. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, now that we know that the Samoans have got 28 points for themselves in the first half, will we see more or less points from Samoa in the second? Do let me know. I feel like 28's, it's quite a high-scoring half, but they certainly have the potential to be able to get more points if they do get it right and miss the second half. Back to work, says Buttermeek, and could be an England-Samoa semi, says Chris. So that's a big game if it does take place. And I might go, I may go, thanks for a great day, Hamish. See you next Friday night or Saturday morning. Your time for Ireland A game, says Richard in there. And final score 62 points to 6. Still got the hay fever, says Justin. And there as well. And be hard to choose, Billy. Our best team wins, says Nate. And that is certainly one that me and George will be playing along with on Rugby Challenge. And also you can't get less points though, says Francis. So in that regard, as in less than 28 points in the second half. So they're not going to get them removed from the scoreboard. They won't take them back if they do anything wrong out on the park. But yeah, will they get more or less than 28 points in the second half is the question. Sorry for not clarifying. And also we're they're getting more points. Let's go Toa Samoa, says Tatsa. He's saying more than 28 for the second half. They are just showing the highlights of the England versus Greece game. And boy, they were scoring a lot of tries throughout the late stages. Anyone who has to come up against England in the semi-finals will be cautious. I know that they're going to be playing maybe Papua New Guinea in the in the quarterfinals, if it does work out the way that it could. But looking through at the table for this one, this game was the decider. That's the wrong table. This one is the right table. There we go. So you can see England at the top of the bunch. They are sitting there with the 6 points. Samoa sitting on 2. France sitting on 2. And whoever wins this game does make their way through to the next stage. Points differential at this stage does not matter between these two sides. It is all about who can get themselves the victory here. And currently on the live standings, Samoa they have got themselves sitting in that top 2. So we have got there, that's going to be a humdinger of a match. England versus Samoa, clash of the Titans, says Ruth. And yeah, I think any game that involves Samoa or England from here on out is going to be a great matchup to watch. They are showing the highlights of Kangaroos versus Italy. That game was always going to be a relatively one-sided one, but Australia feel like it's interesting. They're on the side of the draw that a few people aren't paying too much attention to. I know that a lot of others say that. I know a lot of other teams more interested in this side of the draw with England, Samoa, Tonga, Papua New Guinea. And there's going to be some good matchups on the other side, though, taking place in the near future. Lebanon play Australia in one of the quarterfinals, and then Fiji versus New Zealand is the other game. And MMT Baby says Young there, and good morning and good luck, Toa Samoa, says Akanisi, and also Samoa 30 to 40 points, France 12, says Nate. That was the prediction. Do you still see France being able to score themselves the 2 tries, though? I guess that is the big question. I know Kangaroo fans are nervous, says Nate there. And I guess it's because, yeah, we really don't know how they're going to match up with some of the other big teams. We've seen them play Fiji. They did well against the Fijians. They're going to be playing New Zealand. I think that's going to be a good tester for them. And if they get past New Zealand, then from there, I believe they find themselves maybe, surely they don't play Australia again for the semi-final, but it could be a possibility, depending on how it all kind of sets up. But currently only a couple minutes till we get back into the second half, ladies and gentlemen. 40 minutes left on the clock. Samoa looking to continue this dominance that they did have throughout that first half. There we go. We are well hydrated. And also now Tongan fans are nervous, says Ponga from Tonga. Yeah, I think everyone at this stage, they will be getting a little bit more cautious, I guess you could say, because at the end of the day, these games are the ones that if you lose, you're gone. And it's always such a precious scenario for the players, for the teams. You know, it's going to be weird. See how it does end up going. But hopefully, it is going to be a decent enough run for all of the sides. It's a shame that we do have to see 4 sides of the quarterfinals go home, though. I know that's how things work, but still a bit sad. We do have to see those sides making their way home. One moment, we will go like this, and we will go like this. There we go. And also we have got there stressing over this next game, and those friends need to pull some rabbits out of their hat. They need a miracle to stamp their authority on this game if they can get their hands on the ball. And everyone's nervous besides Australia and England, lol, says Billy. And yeah, I guess at the end of the day, if Australia were to lose to Lebanon, that would be a huge upset. And then the same could be said if England lose to Papua New Guinea. That would be an even bigger maybe not a bigger upset, but still a relatively big upset as well for Papua New Guinea to get the win over the English. But who knows how it could end up going. It's very exciting, though, the fact that those games are all happening next week. We are going to be covering some of them on the channel. Alongside that, we are also going to be covering some of the other fixtures that are taking place in the world today, which is going to be some rugby union. And England is different to Australia, says Ponga from Tonga. And there as well. But currently the players, like I mentioned, they will be very close to making their way out onto the field, and can't see the Kiwis winning it because of Jared Awaria Hargraves. Esteris, says Nate, and also all the Libs and Bankstown wearing their Gucci hats will be celebrating hard if Lebanon wins, says Mark. And also Michael Cheika will be very happy if Lebanon make it far in the competition, because he is currently, he's tied up with Argentina as well, isn't he? But for now, he is well and truly focused on Lebanon, hoping to see them make it far in the comp. And I mean, the quarterfinals for Lebanon, I would say, is still a decent achievement, really. I've made it further than some thought that they would. Some felt Ireland were going to be the side above Lebanon for those matches. But in the end, Lebanon were able to show their class. And Etzwa, says Nate. But do let me know also, everyone in the chat, who's going to be the first try scorer in the second half? The exact player. Who do you go with as your try scorer? I'm going to go... See, it makes so much sense to go with a Samoan back, which is why I really don't want to go with a Samoan back. So I'm going to go with a Samoan forward, and I'm going to say it's Josh Papali who does score. And Samoa versus England, Samoa by 4 points 20 points to 16, says Justin Harris. So, yeah, it would be really, I guess, interesting to see a rematch after the way that the first one went with England winning it by 54 points, to go back and rematch a side that you've had that relatively one-sided affair with. It's gonna be very interesting. And also, it's your boy, and there's Alofa Ockerman as well, mate. But France, they don't look very happy in the changing sheds. But why would you? You're sitting 28-0 down in a game that was going to decide whether or not you made it far in this World Cup competition. They are the hosts of the next World Cup for the French, so they wanted to put in a good little bit of an impact here so that people knew to watch out for them in the near future, but just doesn't seem like it's quite happening. The French coach at the moment, he looks like he's telling them off for just not really trying. But it looks like he kind of did the slouchy shoulders, that kind of thing, just like the players were just like that. So they got to try a bit harder in the second half, I think. And Fiji versus New Zealand will be awesome, says Justin. And also, nervous time, that reminds me of a Little Richard songs. A whole lot of shaking going on. One awesome song, Hamish. And there is, says Ruth. I don't think I know that song. I do know Happy Birthday on the guitar, but it's about as good as my coverages on the guitar. But currently, the French are back out on the field. Samoa taking a little bit longer to get back out there, but they are testing out the siren, which I think means Samoa now just about to make their way back out onto the field. But yeah, do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who you think will be the first try scorer of the second half. I'll go Josh Papali'i. No real reason other than he's a big boy, and I think he's going to be able to run over the top of one of the French defenders. This game taking place in Warrington. It's one of the home grounds of the Super League. Okay, it's going to be kicked off now from France. Gets us underway for the second half. We haven't had any TMO in this game yet, which has been quite good, I don't believe. Oh, actually, no, that's a lie. We have had one. That's actually going to be a penalty straight away against France. A bit of ill discipline. Last thing they want to do, mates. What's my motto? Guess who's back again? Is he back? Tell a friend, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And who do you think is going to win between Fiji and New Zealand? It's an interesting one because New Zealand theoretically should come in as favourites, but Fiji haven't been too bad in a couple of the games. I'll go New Zealand, though, mainly because Fiji, I don't think I've seen enough from them to say that they're going to win, if that makes sense. And Crichton, next try scorer, and he's been quiet, or as he's been quiet, says Henry, and hopefully Kiwi scored more than 2 points come quarterfinals, Rugby World Cup 2017. 4 for Fiji, 2 for New Zealand, says Nate. Yeah, hopefully a little bit higher scoring than that one. And aren't we going to watch? There's a lot of, unfortunately, due to licensing, we're unable to show any match footage or audio, so we do just do the play-by-play commentary on the channel. But on Spark Sport, you will be able to see all of the coverage live and on demand. Sualihi tries to find the offload. It's gone in behind a couple of the Samoan backs. And now it will be Greece who do have the ball. Morning go with to Brady, says, or To'o, I think that might be. From Tito, and also Greece isn't as good compared to Scotland, says Ponga. Morning, says Sports Highlights. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Australia versus Scotland was a huge try difference compared to England versus Greece, says Ponga from Tonga. And who do you think will win, Samoa or Tonga in the quarterfinal? It's a tough one because Tonga looked very good in their game today up against the Cook Island side who hadn't really been dominated out there on the field yet. But the Samoa side, you'd have to say, if you had to pick out of France or Cook Islands, who was ranked higher, you would say that France were. So it's more of the case of which performance is more impressive. A performance where Tonga were able to dominate a side that they should have been able to dominate, or Samoa being able to relatively dominate a side that they were relatively supposed to dominate, but there was a chance it could have also been close. Those are the questions, which I'm very bad at answering, I think. Now, currently on the halfway line, France have got the possession. 36 metres they gained off that one, and that's going to be the big kick downfield. Nicely taken by Brian To'o there. Trying to break his way through, but he's tackled by Da Costa. And also 100 performance, says Nate there. Oh, they will be going off to the left-hand side. Trying to get up there. Crichton, he has had first carry of the second half for himself. Luai now on the outside. Samoa going off to Lafai. He's had a very good first half, and now he's going down the wing offload. Oh, Taylor May once again has slipped over. I think his feet just don't like the ground. Now Luai, short ball, good attack and run. Finds the offload back to Luai, who pierces a gap. He's shut down though. He's found another offload here. It's going to be the foot race Samoa ball on the outside. And Taylor May's going to get himself his 4th of the contest now. And also go Toa Samoa, says James. And also we have got there in the chat as well with who do I think wins in the quarterfinal. Yeah, it's going to be a good one, that is for sure. But I would say the edge for me is slightly in favor of Tonga. Just a little tiny bit, but still going to be a very good game. Could go either way for the two sides, but you're on the line. Did pretty well there to be able to find the offload to the teammate. Levi then had to find the offload, gives it off to Taylor May, and Tonga and Samoa is just on another level when they meet. The only game that pushes both sides to the extreme. It's going to be a big one, like always says Golden Guest. And also Panthers on a roll, says Nate. They certainly are. Like they're saying, Samoa now, every single player might want to get himself a try in this contest. 44 minutes through. There's still plenty of time left. I'm scared of this quarterfinal, says Ponga from Tonga there. Our kick going to be lined up for Stephen Crichton, currently kicking in an 80% success rate, sitting on 4 from 5. Man, Tonga versus Samoa, best quarterfinal, 100%. It's going to be awesome. See those two sides play off, and that is going to be taking place next week, I believe, during the same time as France versus Australia, but we're going to have someone else covering France versus Australia for us so that we can cover this massive fixture between Samoa and Tonga, because it's just one you cannot afford to miss. And Samoa by 8 versus Tonga, says Peter Mason there. I'm scared too for the New Zealand-Fiji quarterfinal. Says Nate, Crichton strikes and Crichton gets it. So that will now make the score 34 points to 0 in favour of Samoa over France. And for those All Blacks, OMG, says Izzy. Yeah, their upcoming game up against Wales going to be taking place in the near future. That is at the same time as England versus Papua New Guinea's quarterfinal. That is if Papua New Guinea beat Wales. If they don't beat Wales, I think it will still be Cook Islands who make their way through, maybe. In fact, no, sorry, Cook Islands will not, because points differential does not exist for them anymore. So they're about minus 150. Oh, they're offside at the kickoff from France. That's a big mistake. Okay. They have just said that French were a little bit offside. Yeah, about 4 or so out in front. Now, big run, Josh Pabali'i, the man who I picked to score the first try of the second half. That didn't go to plan, as we've already had the try, and it wasn't him. Instead, Taylor May picked up his 4th. Now, Suali'i, quick answer, Crichton, down the wing. Brian To'o will get another try. And now that is going to make the score possibly a 40 points to 0 margin. I'm talking about 20 versus Samoa, says Anna there. Also the laughing face from Nate. But Brian To'o, that is his 2nd try of the match. I always think it's crazy how one-sided league is compared to Union, says Gian there. Yeah, hopefully the quarterfinals are a lot closer, but I believe it's only really when you get to the semifinals or so that we will start to see a lot more closer games. And Ozadam Samoa on a roll, says the USO. They certainly are 46 and a half minutes through this game, and they are still just ramping up the tries. He's done very well there. And I'm for real going to miss out because of exams, says Ponga from Tonga. He goes 8 points. Actually goes 20 years, says Nate. And also we have got there France would be a league power. And this is annoying. Also, this is the first game ever I tuned into, Kian, says Golden Guest, and I have to study, so I can't watch it, says Ponga from Tonga. But hopefully your studies do end up going well, mate. Luckily, they will have replays of this game, although normally the replays of your studies do involve another year of study as well. And also, we get Samoan. I have exam in a few hours, says Soy Fu. So hopefully they do end up going well for you, mate. And yeah, next week when we see them in the quarterfinals, Samoa, you'll have to let us know how you do if they do give you the results that early on. But currently 47 and a half minutes through, they are still waiting to take this kick. Going to be Stephen Crichton here once again. We'll be lining it up. And like I've mentioned many times, he has had a very good day off the tee. Sitting on 5 from 6. Just talking about how humble Brian To'o is. And also, 20 points autocorrect, says Nate. And there as well. Now it's going to be swinging around. Crichton gets it. And that will make the score now 40 points to 0. Samoa versus Tonga 12-6 halftime. Samoa 29 or 30-29, says Justin now. Samoa 2 exam starting in 5 hours. The Chamo Cook Islands, they suck, says Malavasi. Yeah, they certainly didn't put up the contest that we thought that they would be able to up against the Tongans. And an England rematch in the semi might be closer than the first match, says Anoya. I'd like to hope so. And also just get Dupont onto the France side and France be flying, JK, says Kian. And great commentary, says True Samoa and NZ. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated everyone tuning in. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Another big run from Tapau. Almost ended up kicking a French man in the head. May has been taken off the field, though. He has already got himself the 4 tries. So they have now replaced him with Harris Tavita. Now back out on the wing to Lafai. He might get taken off at some stage throughout this contest also, just to try and rest him heading into the quarters. Lafai now gets back to his feet, gives it off to Luai. Now another big run that is going to be by Chanel Harris Tavita going off to the right-hand side here for Samoa. Josh Papali'i runs straight over the top of the French defence. At the final 52 metres through now. Back across, going high. Waiting for this one to come down. France have to try and line it up. It is a nice day from Yaha. 10 metres out from the French line here. They're going to have to make a lot of metres in a hurry if they want to stop Samoa from being able to win that territory game and also come down. They aren't bad for a team who don't play the sport like Tonga, and you're always so full of energy. Should take it up full times. Get that that Sky Sports contract or something, says Kian in there. Yeah, it is currently 7:11 a.m. We have been up for about, I'd say, 16 hours again, somewhere around that mark. So it's not actually too bad overall for the energy levels, which is surprising. Samoa and Tonga can't pick a winner there. Like two huge lions having a fight. Difficult to call, both fantastic teams, says Ruth. And yeah, it's going to be an absolutely awesome one to call when they do go head-to-head in their upcoming game. And what's the time in the game, says Ponga from Tonga? Currently, it is sitting at 49 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. Big run forward once again from Sangeri, who looked for the offload for half a second, then decided he could make a couple extra meters at the expense of Tapau. A short ball from Gijo. Tackle made again on, I believe that would have been the number 6, Murjo. Hopefully I said that correctly, but I think it might be slightly wrong. Now it's gone through the hands of France, but now it's found its way out to the winger. Trying to get through. Looks like it's going to be relatively well done by Samoa. Oh, I think a player might have gotten a boot to the top of the boot, and he wasn't too happy about it. Now going across to the right-hand side, Gijo once again. Where we're going now to Puesh. Not making those meters that they're after here, France. And hard to say. And it's 4:12 a.m. in Guam. So that is very impressive that you are up at this hour. And unlucky France says it was. And also word on newspaper as New Zealand women's a favourite for the Cup Hanoi. Says it was Golden Guest. And also is New Zealand favourite to beat France in the women's semis. They certainly are. But France are going to be a tough side. Hey, bruv, I do's. Interesting. I went there, Justin, but it was the kick in behind from France. And almost ended up working well for them, but didn't quite find it. Goal line dropout for the Samoans. Now it looks like France are going to be charging on to this one. It's going to be the number 15 once again, Sangari. Finds the offload. Keeps this one alive. Now France, their best attacking chance of the day, I would say. Oh, the run from Benjamin Garcia. Taken down 20 metres out from the line, going off to the left-hand side. Now the little offload once again. Going to be a Puech. Doesn't break through. Josh Papali'i does help make the tackle there as 21-14 here in Belarus, says Peter. And also die fan of Toa Samoa, says Philly there. Now 10 metres out. Now the short ball to Gigot. Gives it on the inside. The tackle made on Benjamin Garcia. Going off to the left-hand side. This is up to their 4th tackle now. Starting to look nice, but every time they go with that inside ball, it seems to kill all momentum of going forward. here for France. It's going to be the fifth and final. Now going off to the short side. Tries a little grubber. It's going to sit up. Is it? Oh, France might have just scored. Did France get a Yahara saying yes? But the referee, yes, he does say it is the try. And Yaha has been able to get the first try of the match for France. By the sounds of it, Samoa want to challenge this one. And Samoa says Ioane. And there as well. First try in the Rugby League World Cup. In fact, no, sorry, Samoa have not. There you go. They have decided instead that they will just allow that one to happen. France try, woohoo, says it was there from Hanoi. Yeah, Yaha. It was the mistake from Sualihi. He didn't quite get the ball the way that he wanted to. A bounce free. Yaha jumps on it. And it is Les Bleus. And there as well from Mako. And also Hamish does deuce, says Justin. And also it's about time our Samoans beat the French at something, says Henry. Now France. I mean, it hasn't quite got them back into the contest, but it will still make them feel relatively good about themselves being able to get that try. First kick of the day, Morgier will be lining up this kick. It seems like Samoa are just having a training session, haven't broken up. I haven't broken into a sweat yet. Says Ref, and also let's go, says Toots. You are a funny guy, bro. Bruv. Love you, God bless. Says Justin. There as well. We're now 54 minutes in. First kick. 10 from 10 from the World Cup, they have just said. And also Fono has said Samoa there. 10 from 10. And he's missed. So, his first kick missed in the World Cup. And now France got it in 2025. Says Tuts, yeah, they are going to be hosting the Rugby League World Cup in 2025, which will be an interesting one for them. That is why they wanted to go so far in this competition. But sadly, just didn't quite get that momentum that they wanted. I must say, I said good work, mate. Thank you very much. Hugely appreciated you being here for this live stream. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now it's going to be Sualihi once again kicks it off for the Samoans. Going long. Big shot. Put it there. It was a big yawn, wasn't it? And I was on a side note, you're watching any of the Autumn Nations? We certainly are. We have already done a couple of the commentaries for the international rugby side of things. We did Scotland versus Australia and New Zealand versus Japan. What is the time remaining in the second half, says Natalie. At this stage, there are 25 minutes left in this contest. So still plenty of time for both of these teams to get a few more points on the board. Now it's going to be a nice carry forward from France. I've been told to release once again, though. Now back across. Going off to the right-hand side, using their backline well here, France, and starting to try and mount a bit of a comeback. It's going to take a long time, though, with the amount of points that we have seen from Samoa throughout the early stages. And England fought back, destroying the Ausswomen yesterday. It was a top performance, says Denoy, and also League World Cup needs to go back to Oz. It'll be pumping down under instead of dead. And hardly anyone attending like this one, says Marco Vanapola. And also, you won't be out of place in a commentary box, my brother, says Kenna. And that is hugely appreciated, mate. And yeah, we have done, I learned the other day, we have done over 1,000 live commentaries for matches on YouTube. So that is quite a crazy number over just 2 years of doing the commentary. I'm at Scotland versus Australia due to work and also working next Saturday. But got rest of the weekend off. So it's kind of good. And Morning Brothers didn't know this existed. Lol solid, says Jaden. And there as well. Now going back across the right-hand side. Milford steps for Samoa. 10 metres out the line. Still driving and still spinning just a little bit further forward. But they've said that he's lost the ball on the ground. It looks like there's some sort of injury for one of the French players as well. But 70 metres gained from the Samoans there. Milford, he spun out twice. And then he ended up dropping that ball. Now, 56 and a half minutes through in this contest. Looks like there is just a bit of a blood bin here for, I believe, it was Monsieur. I think it is. And you have a work ethic second to none, brother. Congrats, says Marco Vanapola. And you have been here since near the start, Johnny. So I feel like the fact that you have put up with me talking for so long is also very impressive. Yeah, shame this isn't more packed, but still okay attendance, says Hanoi there. Right, so France, they are going to have to scrum from 10 metres out from their own line. Have to try and get out of the half, though, or else then Samoa, as soon as they get that turnover, they're just going to attack, try and get through. They've got some class players in the back line, although it has dried up a little bit in the second half in terms of the tries that we have seen. And unbelievable to see French not on the scoreboard yet. As Roof, other than their 4 points that they did get earlier on. That's going to be now a penalty going the way of France. So that will help them exit their own half. And Kiwi fruit, or Kiwi lads, says Justin. There's a good question. Depends on how ripe the Kiwi fruit is, I think. Because sometimes, you know, when you get a Kiwi fruit and it's just not quite there and you're like, well, this was disappointing. You guys probably sometimes feel that way when you watch our live streams. You probably go, well, this is disappointing. He's not showing the game. Now, the quick tap taken by France on the halfway line now, going off into the middle of the field. It will be number 16, Springer. He's come back out onto the field relatively recently. Try and add a little bit more power into this French side. Nice run from Puch. France sitting 35 metres out from the line, looking for the draw and pass, but it was a great takedown from Anthony Milford, able to shut it down pretty much instantly. Now, going forward again, it will be Da Costa. 58 minutes through, still 22 minutes left on the clock. France seem like they do feel like they've got another try up there. Slam, it's nicely taken almost by Lafai, but also it was good work in the end from Legia. Going off to the right-hand side, Suali'i gives it off to Lafai. 10 metres out from their own line here, Samoa looking to continue their attack. I could coach France to a quarterfinal. And there as well, says Justin. Another run from the number 24 Samoa, which I believe was Harris DeVita. Now Brian To'o once again going forward. Like they're saying, the meters that he gets after contact are absolutely huge for himself. Brian To'o, what a long time. Get the first try, but congrats, French, says Roof in there as well. Now another big run from Samoa, moving close to the halfway line now. Last tackle for the Samoans, only 36 metres gained. That was a lot better set for France. On the defensive side of things, that was a catch that almost didn't happen, but they have been able to just manage to take it. Now France with 20 minutes left on the clock, so it is still the round robin matches, or is this still the round robin matches? It is. It is the second last round robin game that we have got across all teams. Next week we'll be into the quarterfinals, and Samoa will be there. They will be playing Tonga in their quarterfinal fixture. That's certainly going to be a tough game now. Still on the side of France. Brian To'o able to make a very nice tackle there once again. Now back inside of their own half, kicking early, going for the 40-20. I think it's going to be effective. Yes, it is. Great kick from France. And they get themselves the 40-20. And also we have got the Kiwi lads win, says Justin. And there was also France now are certainly fired up. They want to see another try coming just around the corner. And the French in attendance seem to also feel the momentum could be going the way of France. Not to the extent of winning this game, of course, but just to the extent of them being able to maybe score themselves another try, kick it around the side, almost over. Just short. I think it was Jaden Sewer who helped with that one. It's going to be the set reset. Now they can just throw everything at the line for 5 in a row here for France. The last thing they want is a handling error. Now going off to the side. The grubber in behind. Why would you? They decided to kick it on pretty much the first tackle. I feel like surely what they could have done is gone for a few more attacks first and then decided to possibly go along the lines of the kicking option. It's well cleaned up by Stephen Crichton. He knew it was coming, and he did brilliantly to be able to adapt. But now it's going to be kicked off by Harris DeVita. Tries to go short, nicely taken by Samoa, and Crichton finds the offload as well. Now Josh Papali'i moves up the middle of the field. Doesn't get the offload that he would have been after as well, though. But that just shows that Samoa, their decision-making is going a lot better than it is for France. and you got Hamish Samoa or Tonga. It's going to be a hard game to pick, to be honest. Both sides easily could win it. So I think I'm going to wait to see who the injury updates are and also who is going to be suspended, because I know that there was a Tongan player who got put on report. We'll have to wait and see whether Samoa are going to lose any players due to injury or on report at the end of this game. Now currently sitting third. Tackle win, in fact, make that fourth. Nice short ball. Milford up the middle. The offload just didn't quite find the hands. It's still going to be a grubber forward, though. Big contact. And this might be one that they have to check out. And good morning, Amish. Good morning, everyone. Says Shadow Hunter. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. He would do the biggest tackle out of Samoa and Tonga. If we're looking at the last two matches that we've witnessed, Samoa versus France, Tonga versus Cook Islands, you'd have to say Samoa. We've already seen some players get sat down and almost knocked out from the contact that we have seen. And most of that was actually Royce Hunt. And also we have good there, bro. What about the All Blacks struggling against Japan? And they did struggle, but I think they underestimated the Japanese, which they definitely shouldn't have. And I look forward to seeing what Japan do in their next game. They have got a week off, and then they play England. And then I believe they have got themselves France, I believe is the next game. And also, Amish brother, how do you think New Zealand will do it in this cup, says Justin. I think semi-final maybe as far as the Kiwis get, just because there are some very, very good sides in this competition who I think have been playing a little bit better than New Zealand. That's not saying they couldn't go far, though. The chat's 340, and he's at 70, says Nate. And there as well, very interesting stats in that regard. Kind of weird stats as well, when you think about it. But the Samoan flags from Oos Trades, they are just going to be checking this one to see whether or not there was... Oh, that's a shoulder to the head almost. So they might actually check this one. Player gets knocked out. I mentioned about the on-report side of things. Anthony Milford might be in a bit of trouble here. They are just checking all the angles to see whether or not this is going to be awarded as a try. And also, France is pretty good with the defense, not going to lie. And thanks, boys. Toa Samoa. I love watching you playing well, says Louis. And Hamish, brother. Oh, no, I read that one, didn't I? So it was kicked forward. The ball goes into the hands of the Scottish player. See, there's no wrap for there, and it's contact to the head. An interesting, hey, should I subscribe? Should I subscribe and boost his chats? Says Nate there. And I was like, for a New Zealand-Australia final? Ooh, that would be a good final. Be an interesting final too, I guess you could say. Oh, okay, that angle doesn't make it look as bad for the head contact, but it's still around the neck region. So this could be a yellow card. And that angle makes it look worse. I think a yellow card might be on the cards here for Samoa. Okay, there's a communication issue at the moment between the TMO and the referee. They can't actually hear each other at this point in time. Okay, we're seeing the slow motion. Like they're saying, a lot of video referee needed. Okay, there's no foul play because it's head-to-head. And they can't hear him. Can you hear me now? No response, so I would assume that is a no. And also, we've got the interesting game. And also, who you got for the 2023 World Cup Union? Ooh, 2023, I think France are a decent bet because they're at home. South Africa, defending champs, so they're probably a decent chance. New Zealand have been able to do it in the past, so they're a decent option. England are always one that you can't underestimate. Ireland are decent at the moment. So probably one of those sides, about one of the 5 teams that I just listed. Okay, they're just still checking this one to see if the ball goes dead. That's actually going to be a try for Samoa there. So pretty much what's happened is Samoa's player has gone and absolutely whacked into the French player, and it's going to work out, and kind of happy Sam Cane is out. And yeah, I did see that Billy Harmon makes his way into the side, which is quite interesting. And I wonder whether or not they will give him time. Toa Samoa going through to the final. Tonga and English, get out of my way, says Louis. And also we have got the how about Brody Retallick's red card, says Shadow Hunter. Yeah, he did get a bit unlucky, Big Brody, but the way the law book is, unfortunately, could have easily been a yellow or a red, and he just needed to decide a little bit better what he was going to be doing. And now he might be suspended for the rest of the end of year internationals. Jeez, that's big contact there between the two players in the in-goal area, that is for sure. And also we have got the Samoan flags in New Zealand from Sebastian there. Now currently 62 and a half minutes through in this contest. Jerome Luai, they are just showing a couple of the phases here before we did get to see it. They are actually, okay, I think someone's accidentally clicked the replay button. Now Crichton about to line up this kick, but yeah, the try does stand for Samoa. The kick has gone over, so it makes the score now 46 points to 4 in favour of the Toa Samoan boys. And also we have got their Samoa versus Tonga. And this says Sully, yeah, it's going to be a massive game. And go Samoa, says Benjamin. Anyway, hit the likes. If you're a new subscriber, hey, the Kiwi lads on it, the ding-a-ling. Says Nate. Yeah, anyone who is, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more of the Rugby League World Cup coming up in the future. And also alongside that, we have got the rugby union side of things. Another one that we are covering on the channel. And also a little bit of the rugby sevens coming up in the near future. And 685, baby, says Samoa there now. Samoa once again going to have the possession. Nice tackle made on Brian To'o. It looks like Sangaria once again has made his way out onto the field and already involved in a tackle. Man, it's a workhorse for the French, definitely when it comes off the bench. And I don't mind not seeing Brady for the rest of the tour. Not as big as fan, says Shadow Hunter. And also, well, I didn't know Samoa was going to win, says Sebastian Stow is now charging forward. Once again, Samoa running hard at the line, moving into the French territory. 16 minutes left. Looking off to the right-hand side now. Going to be linking up quite nicely. Giga gives it off. Will try to make the tackle, but Josh Papali'i just pretty much bumps him off until the penalty goes the way of France. And also poly movement, says it was Sully there and Chahu. Let's go, boys, says Natalie. And there as well. But yeah, Josh Papali'i, I believe it is going to be the penalty against France, which is the last thing they want at this stage of the match. They just want to have some sort of ball. Now, they're going to be taking the quick tap. 20 metres out for the line now for Samoa. Big run from Junior Polo, I believe it was. I haven't seen a huge amount of him throughout this game either. I feel like he's one of those silent assassins. How you see him every once in a while, but not enough to think that he's doing a lot, but not little enough to not think he's doing something. That's going to be another try. Lafai just loses or uses all of his power, drives over, and that is going to be the 50 points now on the board for Samoa. Very impressive. Well, Tim Lafai, 4 tries in the Rugby League World Cup and also 2 for today. They went off to the left-hand side, and then Jerome Luai, the cutout pass. Nice spin there from the youngster Harris Tavita, and then just gave it off to Lafai. Too big, too strong, and does get over the line again. So Samoa at the moment, they're looking like they're going to get towards around that 60-point mark if the French are not careful. And also, we have got there, what do you think? What do you think this big loss to Samoa will do to the French mentality and their confidence going ahead? I mean, it will be a shame to see France lose by such a margin, but I guess the good news is they've still got 3 years till the Rugby World Cup is taking place in their home country, so they're going to have more time to be able to think about what's going on and try and work out how to fix it. I think is the big thing for the French. And yes, sir, says Natalie, and also Samoa Ram rated the French, says Marco Vanapola, but now Lafai. He's had a very good game, scoring himself the 2 tries. It's going to be a hard one to give out a man in a match performance to one of these sides. Some deep breaths now taken by Stephen Crichton. He's had a pretty successful kicking day. I believe he's only missed the 2, but he has had quite a few attempts at the posts, as you can see by the scoreboard. And that one, I jinxed him, as he has missed that one for Stephen Crichton. Also, go Toa Samoa, says Malosi. And as always, anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, we are going to be back for more of the Rugby League World Cup. We will be doing the quarterfinal matchup between Tonga and Samoa, and also a couple of the other quarterfinals on the channel as well. New Zealand versus Samoa. Says Justin, that would be an intriguing game. Or even New Zealand versus either Samoa or Tonga, I think would be quite an awesome fixture to be able to witness. But now Tonga, sorry, not Tonga. Well, I mean, I was going to say Tonga have secured themselves a spot in the quarterfinal, and so now have the Samoans. Surely they cannot lose it from here. Well done, Samoa. God bless you all. Malo Afaya Tunu. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Keep it up for the next games, says T. And as well now, Loai, the cutout pass. It hasn't quite found the hands, though. Okay, it's going to be a Samoan ball now. Just a little mistake from France. Every time they almost get that chance, it just doesn't quite work out for them. And Samoa, I mean, they've put on a very good performance here. Their discipline's been relatively solid. They still have given away a few penalties, but that is to be expected when you do play as hard and as fast as the Samoans do. And yeah, their game up against Tonga is certainly going to be a hard-hitting affair with both sides putting absolutely everything into that contest. Ball rolling off the back of the scrum now. Good run forward from Stephen Crichton. Moves to 40 metres out now from the French line, looking off to the right-hand side, the short side of the field. Another big run from a man who recently came back out onto the park, Royce Hunt. Had a couple big carries earlier on. Jerome for the next try. Says Justin there. Taking the big man down by the ankles. Good tackling technique from France. Now going off to the right-hand side. The drawn pass is looking nice, close. Oh, it's been slapped out of his hands, has it? And Harris Tavita might have just got himself the try. They may look at this one to see whether or not there was a knock-on. And nice game, Toa Samoa says it was Bule there. Right. The referee has said on-field decision is try, but they're going to have to go upstairs to check and see if that is going to be the case here. Okay, they have just said the on-field decision is a try. And they're just going to check to see whether or not it was lost for Malalova. Toa Samoa said it was Bule, and also the French have got the money to get the players for the next World Cup, says Justin. Okay, the ball is hit out of the hands. I believe with that one. It's gathered cleanly. And Harris Tavita, as long as he puts this down correctly, I believe that's going to be a try for Samoa. So that will be another one. They will move themselves up to 54 points. And now, with an easy conversion, that should be 56 now, with still 11 minutes left on the clock. This game has been very one-sided, a lot more one-sided than a lot of people anticipated. But it is the try, 54 points to 4 now in favour of Toa Samoa. There's Tavita, though. He has scored 3 tries throughout the Rugby League World Cup. It's a nice back line. Currently, my cat is sitting down next to me, and my mum is trying to get his attention, and he has now just heard her. He is quite deaf, unfortunately, for the fella. Jerome Luai was able to link up with the pass, and it was just a good run forward. The strip of the ball for Suali'i, it looked like for a second he had made a mistake, but really all the mistake was the fact that France didn't play on, and good luck for the next game. And there says Karuna in there. And also we have got the yes, says Olive, and also we have got the hey, New Zealand, or try by the New Zealand Warriors, says Nate. And probably going to be like 72-4, just like the last game, says Sully. And there as well, yeah, they are getting relatively close to that at the moment. With 10 minutes left on the clock, the Toa win was predicted after the England-France game. However, if Toa is to make the finals, there should be no room for any mistakes at all, says Salafina. So they will still see things in this game that they want to improve on. Little bit of the, I guess you say the discipline is still not quite there for the Samoans. The handling hasn't been too bad. Yes, they've dropped the ball a few times, but a lot of the time it's actually worked in their favour for them having handling errors. Just like that one that we did just see that led to the try. Now Josh Papali'i, nice carry forward once again from the big man. Taken down by 4 French players. So you know he's a tough individual when it takes 4 men to get him on his back. Now 40 meters out from their own line here. Samoa, another bit of a step there from Harris Tavita. Finds the offload up to Jerome Luai. Tries to step. Now looks like he's going to be passing it off to the right-hand side to Junior Paulo. Moves 40 meters out from the line now for Samoa. Bit of a wrestle as well Junior was holding him, and the referee knew that Junior was just about to go and smack him, so he said, no, Junior, sit back down. Another good run from Samoa. Now fifth and final, 71 meters gained. It's going to be a hard swirling one, but it's taken beautifully by France. The hands of Rouge. He's just been able to avoid a massive shot on himself. And also, what's the difference between the All Blacks and Harbour Bridge? Can't walk all over Harbour Bridge, but you can walk all over the ABs. Wait, you can't walk over the Harbour Bridge, but you can walk. Can you not walk over the Harbour Bridge? Interesting. I don't know that. Sorry, this probably ruined the joke a little bit because you just told me a fact that I didn't know. Now, 72 minutes through this contest, another big run, and they're talking about the women's game, and it's going to be firing up midweek. We are hoping to do some of the women's Rugby League World Cup as well, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And also just imagine trying to throw your body in front of one of these Samoan players on the charge to the try line. It's got to hurt, says Roof. Exactly right. Now running forward, the kick and behind from France. 40 meters. Oh, Brian To'o slips and the ball manages to go into touch. So Samoa will have themselves the tap now. Get us back underway with 8 minutes left on the clock. It's a tough torpedo kick up. Walk over the Harbour Bridge, says Silafina there. I'm trying to think of the Harbour Bridge. Is that the Sydney Harbour Bridge? I mean, it might not be recommended to walk over it, but oh no, I'm thinking of the Sydney Opera House, aren't I? Never mind. Still going for the Samoans are just built big and strong naturally. It's both a good and a bad thing, says Natalie. Now still driving. This time it's going to be Suali'i. Nice carry. 7 minutes left on the clock. As the time continues to tick down, Samoa know that they are closer and closer to their quarterfinal matchup. And here goes Samoa, says Belisala there. Now Levi goes off to the right. Papali'i. Polo gives it off now. Nice work from Royce Hunt. Finds the offload. Through he goes. Anthony Milford will score another try for the Samoans. That is going to be about their 12th try of the match, and agreed back Samoa at big figures. But discipline would be a worry, especially if they are in an arm wrestle, says Peter. And also here goes Samoa, says Billy Sala, and they have got themselves another one. They just seem to be able to find those little passes, little cells of the dummies that just create so many opportunities for Toa Samoa to get in for another try. They move up now to 60 points on the board. And like I have been mentioning, there's still 6 minutes left in this game. We could end up seeing another try or two from Samoa. And Anthony Milford, it's his first try of the day. He has been working hard throughout. Now finally gets himself on the score sheet. Samoa versus Tonga in a quarterfinal. It's going to be an absolutely massive game of rugby league, and we will be covering it on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it is hugely appreciated. You guys will be in here for these live streams. We've got plenty more to come. Next week is going to be one of the most hectic weeks on the channel of the year, because we are going to have the Rugby Union Internationals. We have got ourselves the quarterfinals of the Men's Rugby League World Cup. The Women's World Cup is firing up. Also, we are going to be doing the Women's Rugby World Cup, those playoff games, and the Sevens is also there. Kiwi Lads rock. This has been great. I couldn't name a man of the match for Samoa. They're all superb. There's Roof, and that is going to be another kick going over from Crichton. 75 minutes through, 62 points to 4. Samoa domination at this point of the match, with still time on the clock to burn. Milford, he finally decided he'd have a go himself. Tyler Alovich and Suli Tui. Stops where I can get out of here, says Naroni. And there's one also, we'll get there. Let's go Samoa, says Selenium. And the chat as well. But currently 75 and a half minutes through. Levi Milford Anthony Milford. I combine the two of them. Now, sitting at 75 and a half minutes through. Tries to kick this one into touch. A little bit of a mistake from Samoa. So now one last chance, possibly, for the Samoans to defend, which is actually kind of a good thing. You want a little bit more defense in this match for Toa Samoa, because you know in the next game, Tonga are certainly going to be throwing absolutely everything at them in a team no sleep. Hamish says the USO. Yeah, we have been up since about 1 p.m. last yesterday. That's almost a sentence. But yeah, it's been quite some time since we have slept. But we will be sleeping at the end of this one. Good job. Well, says Justin. That was a big shot. And France are going to get themselves another penalty. So the discipline of Samoa is really still letting them down in this game. I know that the scoreboard, the way that it's sitting, it should certainly not matter too much. But in a close game, when the discipline could be the difference between a win and a loss, they need to make sure they're not giving away those penalties for high tackles and everything along those lines. Now, France are going to be 20 metres out from the line. And thank you, folks, for operating this live. Feels good that I can watch it from work. As well, let's keep it good, boy, in Western Samoa to the casket, says Natalie. And also bounce back for Samoa, says Jacob. There as well. But yeah, it's been hugely appreciated you being here, Natalie. And I look forward to seeing you for the quarterfinals as well. Now it's going to be nice work on the ground from France. They're up to their third tackle and they are looking to get over the line. It's going to be extremely tough. Benjamin Garcia tries to break through. Still 10 out. It's going to be 6 again. Anthony Milford with the slow release. The last thing I want to see from France here is a kick, though, because last time they tried that, it did not work. Trying to break through. Julien did have the ball. It's another penalty in favour of the French. And also, we're going to scratch my score predictions, 30 to 40 points, says Nate. Oh, about a triple blow of the whistle there from the referee. He's actually going upstairs to see if there's more cynical nature behind this one. And England also has a good chance to make it to the finals. Yes, that Samoan discipline is going to let my Toa down, says Salafina. Okay. It's a captain's challenge. So they're challenging for a knock-on there. One of the commentators has said it's one of the things he hates the most about rugby league is actually the captain's challenge option. So it's 2 men. Okay. This might actually work out for Samoa here in this captain's challenge because Jerome Luai disengages, then Harris Tavita rips it away. And let's get ready for MNT versus Toa quarterfinal in England. Also has a good chance to make it to the finals. Yes, that's Samoan discipline. Oh, no, I read that one, didn't I? Okay, Samoa, they will get to play the ball. 2.5 minutes left now on the clock. Now it will be Jerome Luai who rolls the ball back. Now Lafai has another crack at the line. Still 2 minutes left. That is still enough time. How much time left, please? Stay tough, Toa, says the Lineum. So still 2 minutes left on the clock, or 10 seconds more than the 2 minutes. But this game's going to be over in a very short moment indeed. Now another good run from Josh Papali'i. Moves up to about 30 meters out from the Samoan line. In fact, make that 40 at the moment for them. Continuing to drive very nicely for Samoa. That's going to be fifth and final. They'll try and get as many meters downfield as they possibly can. Jerome Luai kicks it way downfield. Tries to force them right back, but it's going to go too far. And Jerome Luai, hang on, that ball's just pulled up. We didn't get the camera angle. Junior Paulo has hurt a man. Why did he have to crush him in the 78th and a half minute? That was very mean of Junior Paulo. He's just decided to try and rearrange his vital organs and send him to a hospital. It's a huge hit. Last try for the day, says Las Vegas. Okay, they're not going to show the replay yet of that shot from Junior Paulo, but that is how you put in a hit to remember at the end. The Tongans, if they're watching this game, they would have seen that one and they would have nodded and gone, okay. The commentator is begging for mercy for the French player who ran it back at the line straight at Junior Paulo, who then drove him backwards. How much time left, please? Just the 1 minute left on the clock. In fact, 40 seconds. And also, let's go Toa. And again, 10 another solid weekend of commentary by the Kiwi lads. Aroa Nui. Hey, everyone, take care. Says Nate. And once again, you are a true famous. You may have the world record for longest commentating endurance commentating, says Justin. Yeah, and we are going to be back tomorrow for Papua New Guinea when they take on Wales. Still 20 seconds left in this contest. Looks like France want one last crack. They've gone for the kicker behind. Lafai has just looked up at the clock, decided he might as well take the one last contact. And I believe with that, that's going to be the end of the matchup. Samoa win it, 62 points to 4, victorious over the French, and they will now be going through to the quarterfinals to take on the Tongans. And also, we look at there, got some work to do now. Happy my Toa got through, and also Toa Samoa wins. Says Jake Given, thanks so much, good work. Says Liam, thank you very much for tuning in. It's hugely appreciated you guys all being here. Like I mentioned, this was quite a hectic game. We have actually watched 2 games combined that have had 100 and about 70 points scored in just the 2 matches. In 160 minutes, we've seen 170 points scored. How often can you say that for International Rugby League? And also, let's go, boys, for that one, or that the one. Says Las Vegas there. And also, Joe says Natalie. So the way that the table was sitting at the start of this match, we will show you exactly what it was sitting at. Now, that's the wrong one. Here it is. England were at the top. Samoa now find themselves onto 4 points. They will be going through to the quarterfinals, and they will be facing off against Tonga. Some of the other matchups in the quarterfinals we have got for ourselves, it is going to be Australia. They will be taking on Lebanon. Fiji, they are taking on New Zealand, and England more than likely will be taking on Papua New Guinea. We'll see there that their points differential should be enough to help them through Papua New Guinea unless Wales beat them by 43 points, which I don't believe would be a possibility, but it's just hard to tell, isn't it? Cheers, bro, says Nick Priest. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. When's Tongan's game, says Natalie. So it is going to be next week that we do see Tonga in action. They did play just a little bit earlier on today, so I believe it is going to be an 8:30 kickoff. I'll just have a quick look at the way that the schedule sits so that we can tell you exactly where the game is taking place. One moment, we'll go forward a little bit further. View all. This is what we're after. Right, we'll go here. We'll go the Rugby League World Cup, and we will go to the quarterfinals. So it is going to be the game on Monday, the 7th of November, 3:30 a.m., I believe, is the matchup between Tonga and Samoa. And got to go to school now. At least I got something to cheer me through the day, says Billy Salah. And also my prediction was 62 points to 4, says Stone Cold. And also we'll get their shot for the stream, so says the Uso and their chat as well. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, both Samoa and Tonga going to be looking forward to their next matchup that is taking place next Monday. It's going to be a big game, and I cannot wait to see it in action as well. But thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you do want to watch a video of myself and George playing along with this fixture on Rugby League Live 4, this is the link that will take you straight to our YouTube channel, and that is the one that we did film. We played this game. It was a little bit less one-sided than this one, I will tell you, but was very entertaining near the end of that match nonetheless. And Derek has said, thank you for the commentary. No worries at all, mate. Hugely appreciated you being here for it. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, like I mentioned. And I will see you all tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. New Zealand time for Papua New Guinea when they do take on Wales. I will see you all for the